All right, just a few moments ago, that classified briefing on Capitol Hill about the raid and arrest of President Nicolás Maduro of Venezuela ended. Many members of Congress were upset, to be honest, that they were not notified prior to the raid. By law, an administration, a president, is always supposed to notify Congress before it does a covert operation. In this case, a smaller select committee in the Gang of Eight. The administration did not give any advance heads up to any members of Congress. So this was the first chance that many leaders from both the Republican and Democratic Party had to ask members of the Trump administration what happened, how it all went, and more importantly, most importantly, what is the plan going forward? Joe Khalil is in Capitol Hill right now. Joe, several of the lawmakers have come out to address reporters about what they heard. I imagine you're hearing, depending on the party of the lawmaker, whether or not they were happy with what they heard or whether or not they still need answers.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, right? Differences fall right along party lines here. Keep in mind, Elizabeth, this was a classified briefing, so they're not allowed to come out and just say everything they heard in detail, but they can sort of characterize how they felt coming out, if they learned anything new, without saying what it was that they learned. We knew the questions going in, what some Democrats were going to ask, which is things like, what does it look like when President Trump says the U.S. is in control of Venezuela? Does that require boots on the ground? What conditions might lead to American boots on the ground? And while we don't know the answers they got, this is what Chuck Schumer, the top Democrat in the Senate, said coming out.
I'll be quick. Okay. Well, this briefing, while very extensive and long, posed far more questions than it ever answered. Their plan for the U.S. running Venezuela is vague, based on wishful thinking, and unsatisfying. I did not receive any assurances that we would not try to do the same thing in other countries. And in conclusion, when the United States engages in this kind of regime change and so-called nation building, it always ends up hurting the United States. I left the briefing feeling that it would again.
Oh, he is. And Speaker Mike Johnson's taking the mic live now if you want to dip into that here.
I expect that there will be an election called in Venezuela. I mean, some of these things are still being determined, of course, but it should happen in short order, and I think it will need to be so that their economy can remain stabilized and the country can remain stabilized.
For instance, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, or did they specify they want to change in leadership?
Look, this is still developing right now, obviously. This has all just happened within the last couple of days, and so there are more questions ultimately about how it resolves probably than answers at the moment, but that's to be expected. We took out a serious threat. We removed a serious threat in terms of an arrest, an indictment, then an arrest, and now bringing to justice, again, in America, on our soil, of someone who is doing great harm to our country. And we need the country of Venezuela now. The people cheering in the streets, elated by this outcome, as you've seen, they now can have that freedom in Venezuela again. They have vast natural resources, as you know, and if they act accordingly and as a good partner in our hemisphere, they will have a very bright future, and we're all very hopeful for that. I know that.
All right, Elizabeth, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson right there. Very different from what we heard from Leader Schumer.
Except that both Speaker Johnson and Leader Schumer both said there are a lot more questions than answers right now. We shall see as the hours and days go by what more information we get. Joe Khalil live on Capitol Hill. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.